Yes, guys, and this is Just for Clicks, the show with all the sound effects, all the polls, all the fun, and all the laughter that no weather show has. Today's show, we're going to review my NFL picks, see how I did. Going to pick some more scores. We got the sports birthday of the day, and we're going to talk about how overrated Coach Cal is. All that and much more right after the intro. And I figure that I'm off in the lid, but they pick the cars when it is dark at the crib. Some say that if I tell them to hate, my people are at the gate, ready for selling your fate. That is up for debate, cause when I make my music, ain't no evil for Mr. Yates. Calling me a cult leader, I don't really know what I'm on for show. Hate the wickedness coming from Monrovia, look at blow me, but the folks wanna so see us at the bottom with the devil, look around and there be no Nina. And welcome back to Just for Clicks. Like I said, I am Michael Buckheister, and you know what? Today we're going to get into it. We're going to start off with how I did on my NFL picks from yesterday. Yesterday, I did pick the Texans to win, and then I picked Cincy. Then I picked the Saints, Lions. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did pick the Lions, and then I picked the Colts. Then I picked the Cowboys. But you guys know that because you guys listen to the show. Nonetheless, I did go 6-5 yesterday. Yes, I did come out on top. The one game that really surprised me was that Lions game. That was a great game. If you guys do not watch NFL Sunday football, you guys missed a great week of games. You missed Ben Roethlisberger diving into the end zone at the very last second to win the game versus the Jaguars. You missed the Lions really just showing me some heart, beating the Panthers. Then the question arises, are the Panthers, are they trash? Are they done? Are they checking in? Man, I love NFL football, guys. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. Woo! Yeah, but nonetheless, we still hate Thursday night games in the regular season. I love the Thanksgiving games. I love that the Lions play early. I love the Cowboys play late. It's a good family environment. Like I know now they're starting to play hockey on Thanksgiving. They got basketball. I mean, Thanksgiving is just an all-around great sports day. But a regular Thursday, NFL, get the fuck out of there, damn it. We don't want it. We don't need it. We don't want it. But let's talk about the game of the year so far, the game that has been hyped up for ages since the Rams and Saints. I mean, this game was circled on many people's calendars when both teams were 5-0, and of course we were talking about the Chiefs and the Rams. They're both 9-1. They are playing it in LA. This game was originally scheduled to play in Mexico City, but Shakira, we want to thank Shakira for getting that game moved to LA. I mean, her concert really just tore up that field, and then they had 2 weeks of rain, and then another concert on the field. So really, I'm not for sure what the Mexicans were thinking about not putting turf in that stadium if they're going to have all those concerts, and then I don't know what they were thinking, but I want to talk about the Chiefs and the Rams game. I do have, man. I'm going to save my pick here, but just so you guys know, I am a Kansas City fan, born and raised in Kansas City. I'm a KC fan till I die. Royals, Sporting KC, the Chiefs, give me all of them. I cannot get enough of KC sports, but things I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking to see if the Chiefs are ready to win those big games. Yes, they beat the Broncos earlier in the season. That was a quote-unquote big game at the time. Since then, the Broncos kind of fell off, but then they had a great win yesterday versus the San Diego or the LA Chargers. San Diego is forever going to be in my mind. But the Chiefs, they did beat the Steelers earlier in the season, week 2, pretty handily win. Back before the Steelers were really starting to roll. Then they did beat the Jacksonville Jaguars when that Jags defense was still ranked second or third. Then they beat the Broncos again. I mean, if you really look at their schedule, they really haven't played a lot of good teams. They did play the Chargers at the beginning of the year, but nobody knew who the Chargers were at that time. They were picked to be a mediocre team. They were not the 7-3 team that we all know right now. That is, that I said personally that they were the fourth best team in the NFL right now. I still hold true to that, even though they did lose to Denver. They may have dropped down to number 5, but they're definitely still a really good team. But back then, we did not know that. The Steelers were still, kind of struggling to find their identity without Le'Veon Bell. So, really, the only two notable games that they really have on their schedule so far are the Jaguars at the time, and then the Patriots. Both of those were really good games. They did go 1-1 in those games. So, what I'm looking forward to tonight after all that rant is I'm looking to see if the Chiefs are ready to be in the primetime light. Are they ready to win those big games? Is Patrick Mahomes really the real deal? Yes, he did set the franchise season passing record of 31 touchdowns. Hunt and Hill and Kelsey have kind of been there, done that. They made the playoffs last year, even though they did get knocked out by the dreaded Titans. But in the end, that's the biggest question that I have. So then you flip over to the Rams. You look at the Rams schedule. They beat a Raiders team that at the time they were supposed to be the team. That was the first game of the year, and then they played the Chargers at like I said at the time we didn't quite know who they were, so you really can't chalk that one up either. So really the only games that you want to really say that you can really circle and say these are quality wins is the Packers game. And really the Packers laid that foundation of how to beat the Saints. And then the following week they lost to the Saints. If I misspoke, I meant the Packers laid the foundation to beat the Rams, not the Saints. I was thinking ahead. I apologize for that there. But just looking at the Rams schedule here, the first 4 weeks of the season, they didn't leave California. And then they travel up the coast to play a Seattle team. Seattle's going to surprise some people, I think. So you can kind of circle that one. But since then, they played the Broncos. Broncos were, I believe they were 2-7, they were only had one win at that current time. So they were struggling. The 49ers lost Jimmy G at the time. They were struggling. The Packers are struggling. And the Saints and the Seahawks are the only quality games that they've really played, since that opening week versus the Raiders. And, they have beat the Seahawks twice. A Seahawks team that I think is going to maybe sneak into that wild card. I don't know, hopefully. But, so, looking back at it, these are really two unproven teams. So tonight is a big test for both of these teams. This is a test of, are we ready to be in the limelight? This is a test like, are our quarterbacks who they think they are? Is our coaching staff who we think they are? And to answer all that question is, I think the Chiefs are who we think they are. Patrick Mahomes is the real deal this season. He has almost 3,200 yards passing on the season with 31 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill has almost 900 yards receiving with 9 touchdowns. So this game is all kind of swinging it in the Chiefs' favor. But then the game got moved to L.A., so it is an actual home game for L.A. Rams now. Rams are 5-0 at home, but the Chiefs are also 4-1 on the road. The only loss coming to the Patriots. So this is definitely the battle of the two Goliaths in the NFL per se. A possible Super Bowl matchup. If you listen to RTF Sports Talk, this is Billy's. I'm sorry, no, Billy has the Saints and Chiefs in there. But this is definitely a Super Bowl matchup. but I gotta go with the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs by 4 or 5 points. But that 4 or 5 points is going to be a very close to 4 to 5 points. The Chiefs are going to get a late score to go ahead 45-41 or 45-42 type of thing. So I definitely like the Chiefs in this game. I'll give you guys an early sports pick here. So yeah, give me the Chiefs. I love my Chiefs. And just moving on to the association now, I'm going to give you guys some quick picks here. I didn't really prepare for today like I normally do. I was at work all weekend, and sometimes it's just a struggle to get away to properly plan for this game. So I'm on ESPN here, looking at the big slate of games that is going on tonight. And the first game that I see that really intrigues me is the Denver Nuggets at the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee is a 5.5-point favorite in this game. The Greek Freak averaging 26 points a game, 13 rebounds, even 6 assists on the year. The Nuggets are 3-3 on the road, while the Bucks are 7-1 at home. I believe both teams are 11-4 or 11-5, right around in that range. They're both very surprising teams on this year. But give me the Denver Nuggets in this game. I guess you can say it is a upset. The Bucks do have a 72% chance of winning this game, but for some reason I feel like the Denver Nuggets are do well tonight. I just think the Bucks are going to have that off night, and we'll definitely see. My NBA picks are 3-3 on the season, so you can trust your boy here. So give me the money on the Denver Nuggets tonight. But the Bucks are a 5.5-point favorite. So just give me the points just in case here. Moving forward here, we have the Boston Celtics at the Hornets. The Boston is a 3-point favorite on the road. They are 4-5 on the road, they're 4-5 on the road, while the Hornets are 4-3 at home. Kemba Walker averaging 29 points a game for the Hornets, while Kyrie, Flat Earther himself, is averaging 21 points a game. Ooh, this one is a tough game to call. Boston is, I believe, still the team to beat in the East, despite their 500 record, give or take a few points there. Everything's coming together still. Since Kyrie, he didn't play much last year. Hayward was out all but 5 minutes last year. So give them time to get together, but I don't think they do it tonight on the road. Give me Charlotte Hornets with the points as well, just to give me that little cushion, just in case. But I do have faith for the Hornets to win outright tonight. Moving on. We're going to pick the Thunder with the 500 Kings. Thunder is 10-0 or 10-5 on the season, 4-3 on the road, while the Kings are 8-8. The reason why I'm picking this game because I like De'Aaron Fox. He is a Kentucky Wildcat last year, and I love watching this man play. If you guys have not seen De'Aaron Fox play yet, you guys are missing out on a real treat. He is averaging 19 points a game, shooting 50% from the three-point line, or from the field. While Paul George on the Oklahoma side is averaging 24 points a game, shooting 41%. Russell Westbrook is out of this game. I'm not for sure what his injury is. I believe it was a hamstring or a quad, if I'm not mistaken. But give me the Kings on this game. I like De'Aaron Fox. I love their young core that they're building around, and I love what they're doing there. And Oklahoma City just isn't very good without Russell Westbrook. He definitely carries that team. He gets Paul George the ball. You know, he lifts everybody else up. But right now, give me the Sacramento Kings in this game. Moving on. And we're moving on to NCAA men's basketball tonight. Actually, there are 3 games going on live right now. You have Georgia versus Illinois State, University of Texas of Stephen Austin, I do believe that is. I'm not for sure. Versus UC Irvine, Eastern Kentucky versus Kennesaw State. But with all that being said, we're not picking those games because I don't know anything about them, and they aren't ranked. So, with all that being said, I'm scrolling through the games here, and I don't see any ranked games tonight. But I do see that my Kansas State Wildcats are playing an X Division foe, Missouri Tigers, at Bramlage Coliseum. My number 12th ranked Kansas State Wildcats, but they're playing in the Virgin Islands tournament here. If you guys have not watched Kansas State play, if you saw them beat Kentucky last year in the March Madness tournament and the NCAA tournament, that is the same exact team that you will be seeing this year. They lost nobody off of that team. Dean Wade is the man. Barry Brown Jr., or I believe it's the second, is the man. Give me the Kansas State Wildcats. These guys are for real. They are a legitimate Final Four contending team. So give me Kansas State on this one. Scrolling through some more games here. There's not a lot of really good games happening tonight. You have number 3 Gonzaga versus Illinois. They play at 11:30 p.m. tonight in the Maui Classic. Give me Gonzaga. I don't see them losing to Illinois. Gonzaga's a really good team. They always seem to step up in the right places at the right time. Number 15, Mississippi State versus Arizona. They're playing in a Las Vegas Open tournament right now. This one, I like what Arizona State did last year. I got to watch a lot of their games last year. It's just something about them is kind of intriguing. But then you look back at some of their games, you kind of scratch your head like, Okay. Neither team has played a lot of buddy. Arizona State did beat my Kansas State Wildcats in the same Las Vegas tournament last year, and it is always hard for an East Coast team like Mississippi State to play at 11 p.m. at night. Give me the Arizona Sun Devils by 10. Yep, give me them by 10. And that takes us to the final topic of today's show. Today's show is going to be emphasized on Kentucky basketball. It's going to be overemphasizing on how overrated Coach K is. Or I'm sorry, Coach Cal. Coach K is for Duke. My fault. But let me give you some accolades of Coach Cal this year. There are 489 players in the NBA that started the 2018 season. Kentucky has 27 players in the NBA. That is around 6% of the players that are at the NBA either played for or graduated from UK. Some notable here, like you have De'Aaron Fox. Just like I said, you have DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, Darius Miller, Rondo, Devin Booker, Brandon Knight, Tyler Ulis. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, you have Monk, you have Bam Adebayo, Jody Meeks, John Wall. I mean, do I need to go on? Calipari's list of players in the NBA is strong. It's just crazy. He has been at Kentucky for what at least 20 years, and in that time they've won one NCAA championship. They've won one. This is not the players. This is not the players not knowing how to win, because they come from winning AAU teams. They come from winning high school teams. They come from winning ways from wherever they came from. This is poor coaching on Coach Cal's part. He does not know how to put the players in the right spot. He does not know how to draw up inbounds plays. He does not know how to do the basics to be a great coach. Am I saying he's a bad coach? No, he is not a bad coach. He is a mediocre, average coach. At any other school, Coach Cal would have been fired, because he would not have the athletes that he's bringing in. Is he a great recruiter? Yes, he is the best recruiter in the nation. That is why he has so many players in the NBA. It is not because of his coaching. It is not because of them winning championships. It is not because of him putting them in the right spots to succeed. It is because of those players of God-given ability. You take any of those players that I named recently: Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo. You put them on any other team, you put them on Kansas State Wildcats team, they are still a one and done. You put them on the Idaho State potato peelers, they're still a one and done, and they're still in the NBA. The only reason why Coach Cal brings these guys in, it's because they have great talent, and he's a great recruiter. He promises them life in the NBA, but he never promises Kentucky championships, because he's not a great coach. He is a subpar, mediocre coach. The facts don't lie, guys. He has one national championship in 20 some odd years at Kentucky. He has won previously before that at Memphis when he had Derrick Rose. Okay? So he has what? 2 champions, I do believe. If you guys have watched the 30 for 30 on Coach Cal, it is a great story. It is a great trail of where he came from. I believe it was UMass where he started. He grew as a coach. He just fell into the right situations at the right time. Okay, but he is still a subpar, mediocre coach. Like I said before, you put him at any other college, put him at Kansas State. Does he do what he does without the recruiting power that Kansas State has? The answer to that question is no. If Cal was not such a great recruiter, he would have been fired. He would have been coaching high school basketball like at this current time. Maybe even junior high basketball, because he is just a subpar, mediocre coach. So when the reason for this rant today, the Just for Clicks rant, is because I see in all of my Kentucky Wildcat friends, my family, screaming, "Coach Cal, you suck! Coach Cal, you suck!" Whatever. He does suck. Okay, don't put the season on the players. Like when I say the season, like them playing mediocre. This is not a player's issue. This is a coaching issue. The coach sucks. Okay. If a coach like Frank Martin had these players at Kentucky, I feel they would have beat Duke. Frank Martin would have had them in the right position to beat Duke. He would have had the right game plan. He would have had the players in the correct spot. They would have probably beat Duke. Would they have beat Duke like Duke beat Kentucky this year by 30-some points? No. But it would have been a respectable game. Coach Cal cannot put these players in this position. He cannot draw up the inbounds plays. He cannot draw up a motion offense for these players to run. He can't run a zone offense, man offense, whatever. Like I'm no basketball connoisseur, but I do know when I see a mediocre coach. And Coach Cal is a mediocre coach. You don't like it? Fight me about it. Prove me wrong. Tell me why Coach Cal is not a mediocre coach.